Good afternoon, everyone. Right, like a lot of people did, during the lockdowns, I got myself a pool for out in the back garden because I'd just finished completing a Swim 22 challenge, which was 44 miles in 12 weeks, and I didn't want to stop swimming. So I got an Intex 2x3 by 75 centimetre, and it fitted on here quite nicely, but the struts to the sides reached out a lot further than I thought, so I lost quite a bit of space to them. I had it in the garage for a year, then out here for 2 years, each year taking it in for the winter because it just got too cold. And the time I was spending putting a wetsuit on, gloves, socks, hat and everything else, I wasn't swimming enough. But before bringing it out for the 4th year, I found that there'd been quite a bit of damage while it was in the garage by mice. I patched it up, used it, and it started leaking, patched it up again, and decided I wouldn't keep it for a 5th year. I've just been told that I can't swim in a chlorinated pool again. It's very unlikely. I need to swim. I've got to do it for my own sanity. And I kept seeing these Bestway 3.5 metre pools come up, circular pool. So they're Steel Pro Max, centimetre deeper than my previous ones, about the same, and I know that I was quite comfortable tethered swimming in that. They've come down to a very good price, which I couldn't resist, and I'm intending on leaving it up all year this time. So the fact that it's sort of better constructed, I think, should be good. And actually, even just carrying it from the front of the house where it was delivered round to here, it is heavy. It's a lot heavier than my other pool was. I had assumed it would fit easily, or certainly comfortably. I've just put out a 3.9 metre undersheet, and that doesn't look quite as comfortable. I'm hoping this will be absolutely fine. I've put the undersheet out. It's not particularly straight, but what I'll do is once it pulls up, I'll then pull it, straighten it, and fold any edges in. So I think best bet is to get it out of the box and see what actually comes with it. Okay, it comes with a pump, which at this stage I'm not sure if I will actually use. I didn't use one on my previous one. I found using bromine tablets was enough to keep it clear, and with only myself swimming in it, making sure that I showered before and after, I didn't have a problem. I don't have external power. If I did, I'd probably use the pump. Now a quick look at the back shows me that they expect installation to take 20 minutes with 2 to 3 people. I don't have 2 to 3 people, there's only me. So it's going to be laying out the inner first and then starting work with the legs. There are instructions, so we'll have a look at those too. In with the instructions are repair patches, very important, keep hold of them somewhere safe. The actual way the legs are designed looks to be very similar to the previous pool I had, with the same clips, the same joins, so hopefully won't be too difficult. Let's get the liner laid out. The liner was actually very sensibly packaged with quite a thin plastic, strong enough but not that you've got the feeling, you know, like when they use loads of tape and you think you've got to go and get a knife to open it. So please don't take a knife anywhere near the liner. Okay, that is the liner out. Obviously I can move it once it's up, and I intend to, but just to start me off, I have made sure that the plug for when I do want to drain it at any stage is, for me, pointed towards the stones here, because that, when I do drain it, I found the most effective. I certainly don't want it rushing out towards my house or to the garden's retaining wall, so do have a little think about how you're positioning it. Right, let's get the frame out and have a look at that. Straight off, this plastic is very good quality. The Intex pool was pretty good, but yeah, that's on another level. So that looks promising. Bag of fittings and feet and poles. So I think look at the instructions. The ones we need first are the A poles. Okay, I'll have a look through and see how they're marked up. Okay, the poles aren't actually marked up on bags. I'm taking one out. There's a pole within a pole. Now there's supposed to be 16 A's and 16 B's for the size I've got. So I think I'll just count through, and if there's 16, we've got to assume that perhaps the B's are within the A's or the other way around. Let's have a look. Okay, I've turned back a page and it all makes more sense. So for the pull we've got, we need 10 of each, which is what we've got. And these ones with the sort of narrow ends either end are going to fit into the cornery plastic bits, so that makes sense. So these are the A's, and the ones the same thickness the whole way through are the B's, which will be this one. So we've got 10 of each, so let's start placing the A's into position. Okay, that's all the A pieces in position. Certainly wasn't difficult. I'll have a little look next, see what we do next. My assistant's given up on me, but that's probably for the best. Right, next is going to be putting the corners in place. That makes sense. Using these pins labelled D. But interesting, I've got to remember to put a little rubber stopper on each of the pins, run it up to the top before I put them in place. Yep, so let's start with that. Okay, I've put one corner in. That was plenty easy enough. So I've decided for the rest, I've got all their little hats on, their little protection stoppers at the top, ready to go, and I will just carry on putting the rest of the corners in, which I anticipate to get a little bit harder the further round we go. There are a couple of spare pins, which is excellent, and I will put them away with the repair patches somewhere safe. Next stage, legs through the strappy bits on the side, up into the bottom of the corners, and feet on the bottom. There's no pins or anything to hold those in place. I suppose the weight of pull does. So let's get them done. Okay, these are easy enough. I can see though having two people would make it easier. So to counteract that, I've done two this side. I'm going to go and do two that side and then work my way round. I hadn't realised for the first two, but got it right by fluke. The feet aren't actually oval, they have a wider side and a narrower side. So I've put the wider side to the outside, and we'll do the same for all of them. Well, that's it. It's up. That wasn't difficult in the least. It's taken me about half an hour on my own, including reading things through. It's big. I knew it would be, but I hadn't quite realised. So I think I'm going to have to move some of my plant pots and put it a bit closer up to this wall and put a straight edge against the wall to hopefully give me room to get in and out of the garage and get the lawnmower out and things. But I'm sure I can make it work, I'm determined to. But don't underestimate the size. I love it. Absolutely love it. So I will make it work. But unfortunately now I've got to go and get some sleep because I'm working tonight. So I'll have to carry on with this tomorrow. So I'm just going to make sure all these legs, like that one's left there at that angle, I don't like that. Let's make sure the legs are all at a decent angle to be left for the night so they don't get damaged. And then we'll carry on tomorrow and fill it up. Right, for my peace of mind, I've just moved some plant pots and moved it over, and it's going to be absolutely fine, thank God. So there's still a gap for me to walk to the garage to get the lawnmower out and things and to go through the back gate, and there's still a gap between the pool and the retaining wall, so even when filled it won't be right up against the pool. So I will move this pot tomorrow, pull the sheet through properly, get all the legs out in a really stable position. As you can see, as I've just moved it, they're not straight anymore, and then we'll start filling. Well, that's a relief. Okay, I've gone round and straightened all the legs. They won't straighten out completely. I think that might sort of have to be done once it's filled. So I've started filling it. I'm not going to carry on for now because I need to go to bed. But when I get up, we'll carry on filling. I'm pleased with its positioned well. It will do the job. So yeah, let's see what happens. Well, it's filling nicely. I've been round straightening the legs again, which, as I predicted, was a lot easier. Now it's got some water in. I'll do it once more, I think, fairly soon. It's not taking that long to fill, which is really good. So yeah, really looking forward to getting into it. Okay, this has been filling for just under 3 hours. Looking great. You can see, well over halfway full actually. And looking fairly even, which is pretty good, because I can't get it much flatter. Now I've started filling. Right, I will carry on tomorrow, but it does show you could very easily fill it in a day. Okay, as we can see, the pool is nearly full, which is excellent. Now, don't make the same mistake I did. I could hear water running out, assumed I had a leak, but no, I hadn't put the bungs in. So there's one here and one lower down on the other side. They do need to go in. I've been able to pull the legs out as I was setting the pool up. They look pretty good. I'd still like them to go straighter, but actually the material doesn't allow for it, which is a little bit weird. But they look perfectly secure enough. I think the answer is get in the pool and see what it's like. Okay, so that was my first swim in the Bestway Steel Pro Max 10-foot pool. It's absolutely perfect for what I'm looking for. I do need that extra bit of depth of water, so I will let it carry on filling until nearly the top of the blue, but it was manageable with how it is. Now, bearing in mind I'm 5'5", not particularly long in the body, longer in the legs, and not particularly long in the arm. I think if you are much taller than I am, you need to go the size up and go for the metre depth. I thankfully can get away with this, as it's all I've got room for. But there we go. It looks a sturdy construction. It looks like it's going to last. I'm intending to leave it up, not take it down for winter. So fingers crossed that that all works out okay. And what I will do, like I've done with all the products I review, or most of them certainly, in a few weeks or a few months' time, we'll come back, have another look, and see how it's lasting. So we'll have another look in a little while. What it might be worth you looking at is the review I'm going to do tomorrow. Because I want to be able to use this all year round, look at what's just arrived. I have got a bubble or dome for the pool. So I'm going to open that up now, put it on, and then have a look at that. So keep an eye out for that review. Well, there we go, everyone. So far, looking really good, looking exactly what I want. I hope you've enjoyed the review. I hope it's helped you. Take care, and we'll see you all soon.